Hi guys, follow me on Instagram to never ever miss any of my crazy updates. Hi guys and welcome to another vlog. I am driving the Volkswagen Polo GT TSI, the facelifted model, 10 years of Polo, and as you can see, okay, first we have to open the hood. How did I forget that? Anyways, as you can see, the engine bay says TSI right there, and of course the engine bay looks beautiful. There's insulation right there for a petrol engine, which is unusual. Anyways, so at the front what you get is the grille and the bumper from the GTI. Yes, that's right. So it makes it look a little bit more aggressive at the front, but disappointingly the headlights still do not get the projector setup. There are no LEDs. There are cornering lights over here on the lower half of the bumper. There are fog lights as well, towing hook, no front parking sensor obviously, but although it's a premium hatchback, Volkswagen could have pushed all that and more. GT written right there, but yes, it looks fresher at the front, but could have done with better lights for sure. When you come to the side, you see the changes are very minor indeed. In fact, some of them you can't even realize. So 16-inch wheels on this vehicle. Tire size happens to be 195/55/16. I like the design of the alloy wheels, although they could have been sportier, but they are finished in a darker color. And you can see this, well, this actually looks quite nice. I don't know what it's called. Body cladding? No, I don't know. Whatever. I think it is a black lip or black side skirt, which is not really a side skirt. It's a small skirt. It's a mini skirt. Anyways, at the rear, yeah, Goodyear tires, same tires. You get drum brakes. GT TSI written right there. Meanwhile, the tail lights are also updated, and they are similar to the international spec version of the Polo, which is of the same generation, by the way, because we've got a new Polo internationally. Fog lights are on right now. The lights also look really nice, but not much to differentiate. TSI written right there, GT written right there. Bumper also gets this sort of a diffuser treatment. Obviously it's fake, it's not functional. Rear parking sensors. Where's the reverse parking camera? It's inside that. No, I'm kidding. It doesn't get a reverse parking camera. I kid you not, it doesn't get a reverse parking camera. Usually it's there in some of the Volkswagen cars. Meanwhile, this is the boot of the vehicle. Boot is actually decent size. Spare wheel is smaller sized, and it happens to be a 175/70/14. No alloy wheel here, but boot is actually quite big as such. I love this treatment actually. This is really very cool. Meanwhile, you obviously get a rear wiper, washer and all that. You get a rear spoiler as well, which is finished in black, and an antenna at the rear, which is also very nice. Overall design of the car is so timeless. It's so timeless that in spite of the age of the Polo, which happens to be 10 years in India, it simply doesn't feel like it's aged. A lot of Botox went into this car actually, but here is where the disappointing part is. Rear seat doesn't have much space on offer, and the door pocket is really very small. In fact, small enough just to keep papers. Let's get inside. There's a massive hump here, so 3 people can't sit in comfortably, although the cabin is itself not wide enough, and Volkswagen understands that. That's why there's no center headrest. Parcel shift area is big enough. Adjustable headrest, both at the front as well as the rear. You can see that they've scooped out the front seat back to, enable some amount of space. But knee room and leg room isn't that great. Under thigh support isn't that great either. Headroom is just about adequate. So this car is really not for the rear bencher. Back benchers, I'm so sorry. This is not for you. So let's get ahead. Now the good thing about the Polo is that build quality is really very nice. This car is also pretty fast. Goes from 0 to 100 km/h in slightly more than 11 seconds. Top speed happens to be 170 km/h. And you can see the door pockets at the front are large enough. These are the controls for locking or unlocking the door. These are the controls for the outside rear view mirror, and power window controls are here. You know what? Every power window of this car, one touch up and one touch down, which is also cool. And because this is a Volkswagen, it also comes with this quirky feature, or rather a very useful feature. Press this button and you can keep this pressed, and you can actually put down all the windows of the vehicle. All the Volkswagen cars have it at this price. This is really nice. Keep it pressed, again the lock button, and there all the windows go up. A sunroof would have been a really nice touch on this vehicle. Anyways, on the inside there's nothing much to differentiate, and usually at the start of every vlog I'm like, hi guys, I'm driving this car, but you know what, doesn't get passive entry, doesn't get push button start. So the key was inside the car because Annabelle was sitting here with the motor beam cap. Nice cap, by the way. So here there's a mirror, there's no light, there's no mirror, there's none of that over here. You get a toll receipt holder. There's a light placement, no light placement behind, but hook, handle, all that and more. Not on the driver's side though. That's kind of awkward. Anyways, let's turn on the vehicle. You know what? They could have actually updated the instrument cluster, because the facelift version of this generation of the Polo internationally got a digital cluster, which was really very nice, but we don't get it in India, unfortunately. So the interior is the same as before. There's no difference. So little bit of hard plastics, but overall build quality is really very nice. Panel gaps, absolutely none. And doors, although they don't feel very heavy, they feel very robust. These are the controls for the headlights, and it gets an auto dimming inside rear view mirror, which is a very nice touch indeed. So the dashboard is slightly tilted towards the driver, rather the center console is tilted slightly towards the driver. Storage space here around the handbrake area, twin cup holders, and there's space below here as well. Meanwhile, you also get this thing, what is this called? Oh no, sorry. You got a 12-volt charging socket right there, climate control, air conditioning. This is the infotainment screen. Get into reverse. Where is the reverse parking camera? I know see you. Can you please go and put a camera behind CCTV? Anyways, this is the control for the traction control. This is for obviously defogger, hazard light button. This clock is showing here. Nothing much inside. Only difference in this car on the interior seems to be the Volkswagen Connect system, which has been offered now on higher trims. This is the USB plug. I think this is for the SD. Steering gets a nice flat bottom along with this piano black finish, which also is there in the center console. Looks really very nice. Steering feels nice to hold. These are the controls for the wipers. Wipers work really well on this vehicle. Lot of spray on offer. This is obviously for the cruise control. Yes, it gets a cruise control system as well. There's a multi-information display which you can browse through like this. It will tell you fuel economy. It will tell you outside temperature and a lot of other functions like a clock, what is your average speed, as well as what is the time you've driven the vehicle, and engine temperature as well. Is the rear wiper swiping? Yeah.
It's not swiping, it's working.
Yeah, let me just spray that. So that's how the rear wiper also works. So I mean, build quality is really super duper awesome indeed. And these are the controls for the audio system. Meanwhile, this is for the voice commands. Let's use the voice command right away. Hello voice commands, will you work? No, I don't think they're planning to work today. So it says voice operation. Hey buddy, what's... Okay, by the time I spoke, she already slept. Anyways, let's play an audio right away. चलाओ ना गाना यार, क्या सो रही हो? Audio quality is very nice, but the song selection is very poor. Can you put some nice song? Put some nice song and increase the volume, yaar.
Volume यहाँ से full है.
Audio quality is really very nice indeed. I love the quality. I love the attention to detail. You can see this treatment all along. Very nice, very smooth, very well done indeed. But could have done with more features. The car is actually on. Can you believe it? It is so freaking silent. You can barely hear anything inside. In fact, they've also updated the fabric on the seat. It looks similar to some sort of clothes which Neha has. It's a fact. When they made this seat cover, this fabric, whatever was left, Neha actually bought it from Flipkart or Chor Bazaar, whatever that thing is.
What is Chor Bazaar? You know that well.
Anyways, that is the pedal of the vehicle. You get a proper dead pedal as well. GT TSI written right here, just in case you walk to the car, you take the effort of unlocking it, and then you don't realize whether you have bought the regular Polo or the GT TSI. It reminds you that as well. So that's nice. And you know what? The steering also has adjustment both for reach as well as rake, which is again a very nice touch indeed. I certainly like that because smaller cars usually do not get that feature. I love the horn as well. Yeah, I think it's a little bit cuff right now, but once you put some Linktus in it, it will behave properly. Anyways, let's get driving right away. Alright, we're all set to go, which means first and foremost turning off the air conditioning, getting it into sport mode directly, and turning off traction control. Yeah, traction control off, left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, revving the motor. As you can see, the performance, the performance is really very good, and this engine is actually a complete gem. So the Volkswagen Polo GT TSI is powered by a 1.2 liter motor. It is a turbocharged motor. It has direct injection and produces 105 horsepower at 5000 RPM. Meanwhile, the torque output is considerable at 175 Newton meters between 1500 to 4100 RPM. Because the torque band is so wide, this car is absolutely punchy throughout with linear performance from this engine. In fact, turbo lag is very well contained, and there's a small kick in the pants in the mid-range. It really feels eager to redline all the way close to 6000 RPM in sport mode. Meanwhile, in manual mode, it will go slightly above 6000 RPM. So there are three modes for the gearbox. There is the regular drive mode, there's a sport mode which I'm driving in right now, which holds onto a gear till the red line and also enables a quick downshift. Meanwhile, there's a manual mode wherein you can manually take control of things using this Triptronic function on the gear lever, but there are no paddle shifters on offer. As you can see, performance is really nice. The engine is very smooth, it's extremely refined, and it gets a little bit vocal in the top end. Actually, it gets a little bit vocal in the mid-range itself, and in the top end it gets quite vocal in a good way. However, the good thing here is the fact that overall refinement is so good. By using a smaller engine, a 1.2, they are able to give us a fuel economy of a smaller engine, so it returns between 9 to 12 kilometers per liter. Yeah, that's actually on the lower side. However, the best part about this motor is the fact that in spite of being a smaller engine, it offers you the performance of a bigger engine due to turbocharging and of course direct injection as well. Refinement, they have really nailed it, and as soon as you get into the throttle, the gearbox never ever disappoints. This happens to be a 7-speed dual clutch gearbox. Yeah, it's a DSG, and it has got amazingly well spaced out ratios, which ensures great performance at all given times. Even the braking performance is really very strong and sure-footed on this vehicle, with the tires offering great amount of grip. Now we are in manual mode. The problem with this gearbox is this lag comes from the DSG box. Yeah, the DSG box, although smooth and occasionally fast with shifts as well, is just having a lot of lag lower down. In fact, the lag is so pronounced lower down that is the real issue. There is no turbo lag as such, but the lag from the gearbox is just too much. I think Volkswagen has intentionally dialed it for two reasons. Number one is of course the fact for reliability, so that you don't blow the gearbox as soon as you get into the throttle and bang, it picks up. And the other reason, which I firmly believe, is the fact that they don't want to give a kick in the pants feel lower down and scare the people who buy the car, because a lot of the audience who's buying the car happens to be from the fairer sex, because it's an automatic and it's a state-of-the-art automatic gearbox. In fact, making a shift, look at that, okay, loves to rev, goes all the way to 6000 rpm, which is a little less for an enthusiastic engine. However, it's not the lame CVT or the AMT which we get in the market. It is a state-of-the-art dual clutch gearbox. No small car comes with such a great gearbox. This is an absolute sensation to drive this car, thanks to the engine and gearbox combination. Some cars have great engines, but they have shitty gearboxes. This car has a great engine and it has a fantastic gearbox as well. So the whole mating of both these come together to offer you a fabulous way of actually giving it all you've got in the top end, as well as in the mid-range, as well as in the low end. What am I even talking? Actually, I wanted to say it gives you the beans, but honestly, that lag actually, makes me refrain from using the word beans here, because the lag is super pronounced lower down. Every time you're like, okay, fine, mid-range is good, top end is also nice, but bottom end performance is really robbed away due to the DSG lag. In fact, DSG lag is so much that we did a drag race and motor beam between the Polo GT TSI and the Punto Abarth, and guess what? The Punto Abarth ran away in the start, but the GT TSI actually caught up later on, because obviously the engine is great and the gearbox is also better than the one in the Abarth. However, the Abarth doesn't have the lag lower down because it's a manual, so you can dump the clutch, spin the wheels. Here there is no wheel spin on offer. Traction control is off. Why is there even traction control? Remove the traction control, return my money back right now, because it doesn't spin its wheels at all, thanks to the fact that this DSG box has so much lag that it will never ever let you spin a wheel or even two. What is the point of having manual mode if it's not going to hold on to a gear? It doesn't hold on to a gear. I whack the gear lever, no, nothing at all. It doesn't hold on to a gear. However, it's quick with downshifts. It's very aggressive with downshifts. There, see, downshifts happen in a flash, although the gearbox could have been slightly quicker. But let me make it very clear. This might be a GT TSI or might be a GT. However, performance isn't oriented towards GT-ness. I don't know whatever that means. However, performance is more oriented towards comfort. So the suspension is on the softer side. The ground clearance, the ride height is the same as regular Polos as well. So it's not really a sporty hatchback in that sense. It is definitely fun due to the engine gearbox combination, and the steering also, which offers good amount of directness. I mean, it is offering good amount of feel, but kind of lacks in terms of feedback, something which is typical of the Volkswagen group. Yeah, I'm even talking about Audi steerings as well as VW steering. They just do not have that connect which you would expect. But that said, body roll is very well contained, and the ride quality is also good because the suspension is kind of on the softer side. It could have been on the stiffer side to offer a more sure-footed corner entry as well as a corner exit, because the time you decide, okay, you know what, I am going to go aggressive through a corner, understeer kicks in abundance on this vehicle. But that said, I really love the fact that this engine is super smooth, the gearbox is super state of the art, although, you know, Volkswagen has a missed opportunity here. 10 years of Polo could have been much bigger. They could have done a lot more to make the Polo more exciting. They have the goodies with them. I don't know what is stopping them. Now, this is not a cheap car in any way. It's priced at rupees 11.53 lakhs on road Mumbai, which is definitely on the higher side considering all the lame ass AMTs and the CVTs cost a lot less actually. But you know, then you have to also factor in that you know, this is German engineering, great build quality, great high speed stability as well. The weight of this car, 1140 kgs. It does feel light. It feels easy to drive in the city because of the compact dimensions, the light steering wheel as well. Fuel tank capacity, 45 liters. But it's not the most fuel efficient automatic hatchback around, although because of the performance, you can forgive that immediately without a second thought as well. Now, the way this car can become more appealing is just remove this state-of-the-art DSG gearbox and give me a manual and slash the price by 1.5 lakh rupees. I would be so freaking happy. And because of the manual, the performance and the fun to drive factor will go through the roof. However, for manual heads like me right now, I would just prefer to pay 35,000 rupees more and get the Polo GT TSI, which also has a lot of performance on offer. But being a diesel, it really spins its wheels. And the most important thing about the GT TSI is the fact that it's so much more fuel efficient as well. Traction control, not there in that vehicle. It doesn't need it because I want to spin the wheels. And as far as the hatchback goes, this particular Polo GT TSI, there's nothing which even comes close in terms of offering the sheer level of performance, refinement, gearbox quality, as well as shift quality, build quality, every type of quality, ride and handling balance. I mean, they have absolutely nailed it. There's only one thing which is unfortunate with the Polo is the size of this vehicle, because it is so small somehow. There's no rear seat space on offer, and that is the biggest gripe of this car. If they address that, which I'm sure they have already with the new generation Polo, but that measures more than 4 meters in length, which means that that's not coming to India anytime soon. So with the current Polo, how can they make it even better? Well, just making cosmetic changes is not really going to help matters. You really have to go one step ahead by offering more features. Maybe a sunroof would do wonders on the Polo, or reduce the pricing, give us a manual gearbox here, give us an automatic for the diesel. I mean, I'm just asking for a lot more, but trust me, this car is absolutely stunning. The GT TSI offers you the European driving experience for a very value for money cost if you only look at it from the perspective of build quality, technology, and definitely the quality of shifts on offer from this absolutely stunner of a gearbox. The highlight is definitely the gearbox as well as the engine, but manual heads like me are just waiting for that manual at a cheaper cost, because nothing, absolutely nothing beats the stick shift. Meanwhile, a lot of owners are actually opting for the GTI paddles as well, so the scope of modifying this car is endless because this is an European car and it is very popular as well. So guys, this is my vlog of the Volkswagen Polo GT TSI, and I love the fact that it's always ready to rev. I mean, it's not like, okay, now I can't rev there. It's revving, it revs all the way. In fact, downshift here, you get a downshift, it revs, it pulls nicely as well. I've driven a lot of Polo GT TSIs, some of them with modified exhaust, intake and whatnot, chipped too. They really perform well and put a big smile on your face. So the sky is the limit in terms of modifying your Polo GT TSI, and this vlog is over.